When you think about yourself, what comes to mind? Is it the version of you that's full of energy, confidence, and strength? Or is it the version weighed down by fear, insecurity, and self-doubt? Too often, we let the world convince us that we're not enough. We start to believe the lies, the ones that tell us we're not smart enough, strong enough, talented enough, or deserving enough. And before we know it, we've boxed ourselves in living a life so much smaller than the one we were meant for. But here's what I need you to understand. The way you see yourself is everything. It determines how far you go, how hard you fight, and whether or not you'll step into greatness that's already inside of you. Right now, there's a battle going on inside your head. It's a battle between who you've been and who you're meant to be. And let me tell you this, the person you've been wants to keep you safe, comfortable, and stuck. That version of you is afraid of failure, afraid of rejection, afraid of stepping into something new. But the person you're meant to be, they're out there waiting for you to catch up. They're bold, fearless, and unstoppable. They've already won battles you're still afraid to fight. They've climbed mountains you haven't even started yet. But here's the thing, they can't come to you. You've got to go to them. The problem is most of us are stuck seeing ourselves through the wrong lens. We focus on our flaws, our failures, and our weaknesses. We look at everything we lack instead of everything we have. And then we wonder why we feel stuck, why nothing ever changes, why we keep falling short. The truth is, you'll never grow into your future self if you keep seeing yourself through the lens of your past. You'll never rise to the level of greatness you're capable of if you're too busy dragging around the weight of who you used to be. You've got to make a choice. Right now, you've got to decide that you're done playing small. You're done letting fear and doubt control you. You're done letting other people's opinions shape your life. Because let's be honest, half the people who told you what you couldn't do are the same ones who gave up on their own dreams. They didn't see your potential, and honestly, they didn't see their own. So why would you let their limitations define you? Why would you shrink yourself to fit into a box that wasn't built for you in the first place? Listen, changing the way you see yourself isn't just about thinking positive thoughts or saying affirmations in the mirror, though those things help. It's about shifting your entire mindset. It's about understanding that who you are right now is just the beginning. You are not a finished product. You are a work in progress, and that's a beautiful thing because it means you have the power to grow, to change, to evolve into the person you were always meant to be. But let me warn you, it's not going to be easy. The old version of you is comfortable, it's familiar, and it's going to fight like hell to keep you where you are. It'll whisper in your ear every time you take a step forward, reminding you of all the times you failed, all the times you've fallen short, all the reasons why you should just give up. But you've got to silence that voice. You've got to drown it out with action, with focus, with determination, because the future version of you is worth fighting for. Here's the truth. The world is full of people who never reach their potential. They stay stuck because they're too afraid to see themselves differently. They let their fear win. But that doesn't have to be your story. You have the power to break free. You have the power to rewrite the narrative. And when you do, everything changes. When you start seeing yourself as strong, capable, and deserving, you start acting like it. And when you act like it, the world has no choice but to take notice. And here's the best part. It's not just about you. When you change the way you see yourself, you become an example for everyone around you. You show your family, your friends, your coworkers, everyone that it's possible to rise above. You inspire others to step into their own greatness because they see what's possible through you. You become a light in a world full of darkness, and that's something money can't buy. So let me ask you again. When you look in the mirror, who do you see? Do you see someone who's stuck? Or do you see someone who's ready to rise? Do you see someone who's holding on to the past or someone who's ready to create a new future? The choice is yours. Change the way you see yourself and you'll change everything else. It's time to stop playing small. It's time to stop living beneath your potential. The world is waiting for the real you to show up. What are you waiting for? Let's get to it. Let me ask you something. When you look in the mirror, who do you see? Do you see the person you were or the person you could be? See, most of us are stuck seeing ourselves through a lens of limits. We focus on what we're not, what we don't have, what we can't do. And you wonder why life feels heavy, why the dream feels so far away. It's because you're trapped in a reflection of your old self. When you look in the mirror, what do you see? Be honest. Do you see someone who's confident, capable, and ready to conquer the world? Or do you see someone weighed down by doubt, fear, and past mistakes? Here's the truth. Most people only see what's right in front of them. They see their current flaws, their shortcomings, the things they failed to achieve. They get stuck in the reflection, staring back at them, and because of that, they never realize their true potential. But let me tell you something, reflection lies. It doesn't show you who you can be. It only shows you who you are right now. And that's why I'm here to tell you that if you want to change your life, you've got to start by changing the way you see yourself. You see, the mirror doesn't tell the whole story. It doesn't show you the sleepless nights you've survived, the battles you fought, or the dreams you've been carrying in your heart for years. It doesn't show you the grit, the resilience, or the fire that's still burning inside you, even if it's just a flicker right now. And it definitely doesn't show you the person you're capable of becoming. The mirror only reflects what's on the surface. But true transformation starts within. It starts with the belief that you are more than what you see in that reflection. Most of us are walking around carrying a mental image of ourselves that's outdated. Maybe someone told you years ago that you weren't good enough, smart enough, or talented enough, and you believed them. Maybe you made a mistake, failed at something, or fell short of your goals, and you let that moment define you. But hear me loud and clear. You are not your mistakes. You are not your failures. You are not the labels people have placed on you. You are so much more than that, but you'll never see it until you start looking at yourself differently. The problem isn't that you're not capable. It's that you've been playing small. You've been settling for less because you don't believe you deserve more. But let me ask you this. Who told you that? Who said you couldn't succeed, couldn't grow, couldn't break through? Whoever it was, they lied. They don't see what's inside you. They don't know the strength, the determination, and the potential you've got buried under all that doubt. And the only way to prove them wrong is to start seeing it for yourself. Changing the way you see yourself isn't just about thinking positive thoughts. It's about taking action. It's about stepping into the version of yourself you know you're meant to be, even before you feel ready. Let me tell you something. Your future self is out there waiting for you. The version of you that doesn't settle, doesn't make excuses, and doesn't stop when things get hard. That version of you is strong, focused, and unshakable. But here's the catch. You can't reach that version of yourself if you keep clinging to the old one. You got to let go of the doubt, the fear, and the excuses that have been holding you back. You got to decide right here and now that you're done playing small. This isn't going to be easy. Changing the way you see yourself means breaking old habits, rewiring your thoughts, and stepping outside your comfort zone. But let me tell you what's harder: staying stuck. Living your life feeling like you're not enough, like you're not worthy, like you're destined for mediocrity. That's the real struggle. So why not trade that for a life where you wake up every day excited to chase your dream? A life where you walk into every room with confidence, knowing you belong there. A life where you don't just survive, you thrive. The first step is simple. Speak it into existence. Stop saying I can't and start saying I will. Stop looking for reasons to quit and start finding reasons to push forward. When the doubt creeps in, and it will, remind yourself that the power to succeed is already inside you. You don't need anyone's permission to be great. You just need to believe it for yourself. And let me tell you why this matters. It's not just about you. When you change the way you see yourself, you don't just change your life, you change the lives of everyone around you. Your family, your friends, your community. They're all watching you. They're waiting to see what's possible. When you rise, you give them permission to rise too. You become a living, breathing example of what's possible when someone decides to see themselves differently. So today, I challenge you, look in the mirror and see the person you were meant to be. Not the person weighed down by mistakes, fear, or insecurity, but the person who's ready to rise, to grow, to succeed. Change the way you see yourself and you'll change everything else. The world is waiting for you to step into your greatness. Don't keep it waiting. It's your time. Let's go. Every single day you wake up and face the same question, who am I? And whether you realize it or not, your answer to that question shapes everything. It shapes how you think, how you act, and what you believe is possible for your life. The problem is most of us don't even realize how much we're limiting ourselves with the way we see ourselves. We look in the mirror and instead of seeing strength, we see weakness. Instead of seeing potential, we see failure. Instead of seeing the person we could be, we see the person we've always been. And that right there is why so many people never grow. They never evolve. They never step into their greatness because they're trapped in an outdated version of themselves. Let me tell you something, the way you see yourself is the most powerful thing in your life. It's more powerful than your circumstances, your resources, or even your talents. Because if you don't believe in yourself, none of those other things matter. You could have all the potential in the world, but if you're still looking at yourself through a lens of fear and self-doubt, you'll never take the steps to unlock it. And that's the difference between people who succeed and people who stay stuck. It's not talent. It's not luck. It's belief. It's the ability to see yourself as the person you're becoming, not the person you've been. Most people don't realize this. But the way you see yourself is a choice. It's not something that's fixed or permanent. It's something you control. But here's the catch. Making that choice takes work. It takes courage. It takes a willingness to let go of the version of yourself that you've been carrying around for years. That version of you might feel familiar, might even feel safe. But let me tell you something, comfort zones are where dreams go to die. You can't grow if you're not willing to let go of the stories and beliefs that are holding you back. I get it, change is scary. It's uncomfortable. It's messy, but staying the same. That's even scarier. Staying stuck in a life that doesn't excite you, a life that doesn't challenge you, a life that doesn't inspire you, that's the real tragedy. And the worst part is most people don't even realize they're doing it. They don't see that they're the ones holding themselves back. They blame their circumstances, their upbringing, their luck. But the truth is the only thing standing between you and the life you want is the way you see yourself. You've got to start seeing yourself differently. You've got to start believing that you're capable of more, deserving of more, and destined for more. And I'm not just talking about surface level belief. I'm talking about a deep, unshakable belief that drives everything you do. The kind of belief that gets you out of bed in the morning with purpose. The kind of belief that pushes you to keep going, even when it's hard, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it feels impossible. Because here's the thing, it's supposed to be hard. If it were easy, everyone would do it. But the fact that it's hard, that's what makes it worth it. When you start to see yourself differently, everything changes. Your actions change. Your mindset changes. Your energy changes. And when those things change, the world responds. Opportunities that you didn't even know existed start to appear. People start to notice you. Doors that were once closed suddenly swing open. But none of that happens if you don't take the first step. None of that happens if you don't decide right here and now that you're done playing small. This isn't about arrogance. It's not about thinking you're better than anyone else. It's about recognizing that you have a purpose. You have gifts. You have something inside of you that the world needs. And if you keep hiding it, if you keep doubting it, you're not just robbing yourself, you're robbing the people around you. Because when you step into your greatness, you don't just change your own life. You inspire others to change theirs. You become a light, a leader, a living example of what's possible. And that's something the world desperately needs. So let me ask you, how do you see yourself right now? Do you see someone who's strong, capable, and full of potential? Or do you see someone who's stuck, afraid, and unsure? Whatever your answer is, I need you to understand that it's not permanent. You have the power to change it. You have the power to rewrite the story, but it starts with you. It starts with the decision to stop letting fear and doubt dictate your life. It starts with the decision to step into the version of you always be capable of becoming. The world is waiting for you to rise. It's waiting for you to show up, to bring your gifts, to make your mark. But none of that can happen until you change the way you see yourself. So stop holding back. Stop making excuses. Stop settling for less than you deserve. The time is now. The choice is yours. Let's make it happen.